Hey, Laker fans, welcome into today's show. I'm your host, Jimmy Crowther, breaking down all the latest Laker news and Lakers rumors. And if you want to give me a follow, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Jimmy_Crowther. Now let's get into today's rumors. Starting off with the hottest topic of the weekend, Serge Ibaka could be a Lakers target this offseason, according to Sean Devaney. He listed multiple teams that are interested in Serge Ibaka, who is, believe it or not, just 31 years old. Producer Sam and I were talking before the show. It seems like this guy's been around for as long as we can both remember, but he's still a younger guy, still kind of in the end of his prime. At 31, he can come in and contribute right away to a championship team. And guess who a championship team is? The Los Angeles Lakers, as they're looking to kind of build up that big man depth. Now, when you look over the last 4 years at what Serge Ibaka did, he has been a very consistent player, hovering around that 14 to 15 point per game kind of mark, 8 rebounds, and still blocking shots at an efficient rate, although the blocks per game kind of dropped off a little bit this past year with the Raptors, but that's because a lot of those responsibilities were handed over to Pascal Siakam, so defense wasn't as much of a focus for him. Now, another important part of Ibaka's game is that he can shoot the three ball really, really well. And I think that is something that would serve the Lakers well as they continue to look to play this game of pace and space with their big men. Now, the Lakers weren't the only teams interested in Serge Ibaka according to Sean Devaney. Other teams, including the Boston Celtics, the Dallas Mavericks, the other LA team, the Clippers, and of course the Lakers and the Miami Heat, the two teams that met in the NBA Finals. Celtics could obviously use him because they don't really have a true big man outside of Daniel Tice. The Mavs are looking for a tough veteran. That could make some sense. Clippers probably want to improve from Zubats, and if they lose Trez, it could make some sense. And then the Miami Heat, maybe it could be a backup to Bam Adebayo. Now, looking at the big man situation already in LA, you've got two guys with player options in the Anthony Davis and JaVale McGee. Now, McGee's $5 million player option is probably going to be picked up, and so he will remain a Los Angeles Laker next offseason, whereas Anthony Davis looking to decline it, but will come back regardless. Dwight Howard, unrestricted free agent. We'll see if he leaves or if he stays. Markieff Morris, probably not going to be back for the Lakers next offseason. So, guys, what I want you to do now is go down to the comment section and let me know, what should the Lakers focus on in free agency? Should they focus on getting another guard? Should they focus on bringing in a wing to kind of back up LeBron James? Or should they go out and target a big man like Serge Ibaka? Give us your thoughts in the comment section. Type G for guard, W for wing, or a B for big. I think I'm going to lean wing here. I meant guard. I think they need to focus on getting a guard off the bench, especially a guy like a Goran Dragic. And if Dwight Howard and JaVale are back, there's no reason to bring in another big man. But maybe, just maybe, I'd type my G for guard, secondary I'd go wing, and then I'd focus on a big man. Now, one thing you guys should be focusing on right now is going to our friends over at Fanatics and getting some Lakers championship gear. They're only going to be champions for 1 year, so this gear is only going to be available for a limited time. Go to chatsports.com/NBA champs. That only works for our Laker fans. You can get Lakers-themed face masks, Laker-themed hats that they wore on court and during the trophy ceremony. You can get these awesome Laker Championship t-shirts. You can get hoodies since the weather's getting cold and it's sweater weather. You want to get a hoodie? Go get one at chatsports.com/NBA champs. Or my personal favorite is this t-shirt right here with all the Lakers on it in cartoon caricature form. I guess I said that right. But that's chatsports.com/NBA champs. Now let's talk about another NBA champion in Tristan Thompson. Now, of course, he played with LeBron James. He is an unrestricted free agent this offseason, and I have mentioned him as a free agent target for the Lakers earlier this year. But now, that claim has been backed up, and the Lakers are officially interested in him this offseason. One of 3 teams that have been interested with Tristan Thompson, along with the Cavs and the Raptors. Now, Thompson is still one of the best rebounders in the league, and he really has been for quite a while now. He may not be that great of an offensive player at this point in his career, and he's trying to extend his range, although 39%, a little bit deceiving because he didn't take that many three-pointers in Cleveland. But the Cavs have a lot of big men. They might not want to bring back Tristan Thompson, although he does prefer to go and stay and retire in Cleveland. But the Lakers might make some sense if they lose one of their 2 bigs in JaVale McGee or Dwight Howard. Now, this past year, Tristan Thompson was among the best in rebounders per game. If you want an elite rebounder, you can go with Drummond, who does have a player option this year. Hassan Whiteside is a free agent. The other 3 guys probably under contract this year or under contract with their current teams. Jonas Valanciunas, he's staying with the Grizzlies. Can't look at Vucevic. Can't look at Bam Adebayo. They're not available. Don't even think about DeAndre Jordan. He's with the Nets. So that leaves Tristan Thompson, one of the 10 best rebounders in the league this past year, and a guy that could really bulk this big man rotation for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, as we like to see, and as we saw with Frank Vogel, we know that the Lakers like this bullpen style of big man where there's not one guy. It's not just JaVale McGee. It's not just Dwight Howard. It's not just Anthony Davis. It is a bullpen rotation, and Thompson would make a lot of sense there. Now, I just talked about two free agent big men in Serge Ibaka and Tristan Thompson, but Dwight Howard is also a free agent. So if you had to pick one of these guys to become a Los Angeles Laker or remain a Los Angeles Laker in the case of Dwight Howard, which one would it be? Type S for Serge Ibaka, T for Tristan Thompson, D for Dwight Howard. Don't type all three together because then you get something that nobody wants, and you can figure out what that one is. But I think Serge Ibaka is the best player of this group. However, I think Dwight Howard is the most realistic of this group. Bring him back, make it just keep the core intact. I'd be typing my D for Dwight Howard. Now, if you've subscribed to the Lakers Report, you are one of our 23,000 plus subscribers. You are amazing. We're well on our way to 24,000. We're doing it for Kobe. So if you have subscribed, type Kobe in the comment section. Make sure you use that exclamation mark as well. And I'll give you a shout out in the comments. I'll reply to you and say thank you for subscribing. So let me know if you have subscribed. If you haven't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button or go to youtube.com/LakersTV. Also, make sure you turn on your notifications because we have videos coming out every day. You don't want to miss any of it. Let's talk about the Latvian Laser. I talked about him around the trade deadline for the Los Angeles Lakers, and now we are getting into free agency where he is an unrestricted free agent. But one of the most recent reports coming out about Davis Bertans is that teams without cap space, specifically Western Conference teams, are preparing sign-and-trade offers for Bertans in free agency. Now, teams without cap space, contenders in the Western Conference. You know who that fits? The Los Angeles Lakers. And I believe the Lakers are one of these teams that will be targeting Bertans in a sign-and-trade offer. Now, the Latvian Laser earned that nickname because he became one of the best shooters in the league this year, shooting better than 42% from beyond the three-point arc on a really bad Washington Wizards team. He showed that, hey, even when he's not open that much because he was being covered a little bit more tightly, he can still knock down threes and do it very efficiently. Now, what it would take to get Bertans in a sign-and-trade would probably be giving Bertans $15 million, which means you'd have to trade away Danny Green, who's kind of a negative asset for the Washington Wizards. So that means you attach Talen Horton-Tucker, you attach the 28th overall pick. That gives them two future assets. The Lakers get one of the best shooters in the league and a guy that can come in and start right away for this team. And all of a sudden, your new Laker lineup looks something along the lines of this. I think you go KCP and Bradley in the backcourt. I think you really have to start Bertans and just say, suck it up, Anthony Davis, play the center position. He's too good defensively, and Bertans is too good offensively not to start them together. So now you have three snipers on the floor in KCP, Bertans, and Avery Bradley. Two solid shooters in LeBron and AD, and two big men that can play alongside each other really, really well. Now, I think Bertans is going to get something like $15 million on the open market, so I think the Lakers are going to have to be ready to offer that much. But how much money would you offer Davis Bertans? And let me make one thing very clear. He is better than Talen Horton-Tucker is ever going to be. He's better than anybody the Lakers are going to get at the 28th pick. Those two assets combined, I'm not even sure the Wizards are in on that deal. But if Bertans is like, hey, I'm signing only to trade me the Lakers, maybe they do it. So let me know how much you would offer Davis Bertans in the comment section below.